Hey, welcome here. I am so glad you're here. Before I started filming, I had cleaned our garage because I showed that recently. I did not feel like filming it, but I just tidied it up and washed the floors one more time before winter. And then I moved on to doing some outdoor work. That's what this video is probably gonna mostly contain, is just getting the yard ready for winter. We have pretty rough winters here in Canada, and it is time to get the yard ready, and there's just many different things that I want to get done. Here I showed you very tiny potatoes. I don't know how they got into my flower bed. I'm assuming maybe squirrels, because I know they can do lots of things. So there was quite a few very small potatoes in there, which was interesting. But yeah, I just cleaned up these flowers that I had planted in the spring from seed, and I have really enjoyed them throughout the summer. The only thing was I had cosmos in front of the zinnias, and so for a while I wasn't even able to enjoy them because they stayed smaller than I had expected. But in the end, I still really enjoyed them, but it was time to clean them up. And I want to get this bed ready for some tulips, and hopefully we can have some beautiful tulips in the spring. That's the goal, but we're going to see how that's going to turn out. I've never planted tulips before, so I'm going to do that here in a couple of weeks, hopefully. So after I had cleaned it out, it looked so tidy and so nice. And we had really, really strong winds this one day. It was just crazy how much the wind was blowing, and our whole yard was covered in small branches and leaves. And I mean, leaves, that's still happening because there is still leaves on the trees, but there was just so many branches and garbage and all the things lying around on our yard. So I just started going around on our yard and just cleaning up little areas. I know I need to do one more time, kind of go around and do some leaves cleanup out of the lawn, but I think the mower is gonna be able to pick them up pretty good. So I just wanted to make sure I had all the branches and garbage out of the yard, and hopefully the very strong winds stay away for a while. But this tree that is behind our house has really outdone itself. I was determined to get rid of it because the shape is really awkward, and then the leaves stay on all winter long, and then after it has snowed, like, they continue falling till it has new leaves. And it's kind of annoying because once you have the very fresh snow on the ground, the leaves continue to fall and it looks kind of trashy, and it looks like you need to go clean it up if you know what I mean. But it has the most gorgeous fall colors. It is an orange yellowish color, and then the outer leaves on the trees turn this very peachy red color. It was just gorgeous, and it's still that color after some really hard frost. So I think that tree might stay. I think I might handle the falling leaves throughout the winter, hopefully. But yeah, after a while, Jeremias woke up from his nap, and then he started joining me like he always does. And I just continued cleaning up these branches, especially on this side of the yard. There was just a lot of branches from the trees. I don't think you can actually tell how many there were, but I think I hauled away 2 wheelbarrows full, so it was a lot. But it looked so tidy and nice. I didn't really focus on the leaves too much, just more like the branches. And here in the back of our house there was lots of pine cones and things like that, and it just felt good to kind of get it cleaned up somewhat. And then it looks like we have some more nicer days coming up, and there's barely any trees left with leaves on them at this point. So I might go out with a mower and just kind of drive around, and I think the mower is going to be able to pick them up pretty good, so I don't need to rake all of it again. But at least I got these branches off. I know by the end of winter, I will probably need to do this all over again because spring cleanup is always a thing. But for now, it's looking so much better, especially in our backyard and the side of the house that I just cleaned up. I'm still so happy that I did it. But then, I don't know, you can kind of tell here by looking at the swing set in the back. I don't know if you can tell that it fell over. And that was actually also from the wind. The first day we had such strong winds, we kind of noticed that it was leaning over. And I wanted to go tie it down, but I didn't want to do it that day. And I completely forgot about it. And then a couple of days later, again, we had really strong winds. And this time it completely blew it over. So I need Johnny's help to kind of get it upright again and then kind of see what the damage is. I know it got some damage, but I don't know if we're going to fix it up this fall yet. It might have to wait till the springtime because we're not going to use it throughout the winter anyways. But then there's all these little things like cleaning up the hoses, getting them inside, making sure the water is out of them. And we always have this one red hose. It's really tough to roll up, so I just put it out in the sun for a while, and then after it was laying in the sun for a while, it was much easier to roll it up. But I just put all of our hoses in the shed, and in case we need them throughout the winter, I can go get them because I made sure all the water is out, so they're not gonna freeze shut, if you know what I mean. And then after that, I needed to move on to the barn area. There were so many shingles that blew off of the old barn. The barn really needs to be redone or just completely get rid of it. I'm not sure yet what we're gonna do, but there were so many shingles that blew off. But I just started picking them up, and he was joining me as well. It's always so cute when he comes running with a okay, what do you call it? You know, in German we call it Peiterpiece. That's what my mom always called it. I don't even know what you call it, but he always wants me to blow off the seeds, and I think it's the cutest thing ever. And to see the smile on his face when I blow it off, it melts my heart. But yeah, he's always right there by my side, whatever I do, which is so fun. But yeah, this was quite a bit of work to pick all of these up, but in the end it was so worth it. And I don't think there's gonna be this much in the spring, because last spring we didn't even have that much. So it was a beautiful evening, but it kind of got late a little bit. So till I got to the garden, I wanted to get rid of all these dead plants, but it was getting dark, as you can tell, and I was extremely tired by this point. Shamias was tired, and these shots are pretty terrible. First of all, the lighting is off because it was getting dark. I was too tired to make sure that I had the right angles on my camera. So yeah, it's a little awkward with the way I filmed it, but as you can tell, I put a little bit of leaves on the garden, and I think I will do the next leaves cleanup that I will do. I think I will put a little bit more on the garden, and then I plan to till it yet before we have snow coming. But that will have to wait till another day. I got most of it out of the garden. The only thing that I left in there was the sunflowers and then my tomatoes. The tomatoes I just kind of took out of the ground, but then I realized it would be a lot of work to take them out of the cages because they're just so tangled up with the cages that I had them in. So that needs to happen yet, but then I got all the other plants out, so I think I accomplished a lot. Okay, it is a new day, but I don't know about you guys, but one thing that I always miss during the winter months is fresh herbs for cooking your soups, and because you have more soups during the winter time, and it's always something that I really miss. And I'm going to show you a product where you can have fresh herbs inside of your house without much hassle or much work. I was pretty excited to try this product. When LetGrow reached out to me, I was excited to try and see how I like having fresh herbs inside, because that is always something that I miss during the winter months. I can buy them in the store, but it's not as convenient because you don't use them every day, and then you have to kind of try and keep them fresh. But here I'm just kind of showing you the process of setting it up. It also came with little bottles of nutrients that you can add to your tank, and it supplies the nutrients as needed. And it was pretty easy to set up once I figured it out with the instruction manual. And the reservoir where the water is in, it's pretty big. I think there's 7.5 liters of water in there, so I don't think I will have to add water very often, which is nice because it's just kind of a hands-off experience, if you know what I mean. It's just kind of taken care of itself, which is really nice. You just put this little thing on top, and it comes with little baskets with little sponges. And as you noticed in the very beginning of the video, I had a bag of soil, and I later found it kind of funny that I didn't even read enough to know that I didn't need soil, because you can't put soil in here. It just comes with the little sponge plugs, and I'm sure you can buy them separately once you want to repot them. And then I ordered my seeds off of Amazon. It came in a pack with cilantro, basil, dill, summer savory, and parsley, and that's what I planted. I kind of wish there was rosemary in there as well, but this will do. I will kind of just try and see what it does. And then it comes with these little domes that you put on top to keep the humidity in before for it to germinate faster, which I think is pretty cool. And it also comes with a separate lid if you want to do just a few tomato plants, like miniature tomato plants. Like, you can find those seeds as well. I was kind of thinking of that, but in the end I figured I would use fresh herbs more. And this is a little hole where you can refill your water, and it's going to show you if you need to refill it. So this is where it shows the water level. I later on refilled it, but yeah, and then it shows the brightness, the pump mode. It also shows the timing when the light is going to go off and on. You can all do that from this little screen here. And it also shows how many days your plants are growing, which this was the first day, so it was 0. And then the water temperature, 15 Celsius. And yeah, it's pretty cool that you can kind of set it to just take care of itself, basically. And then you can also download the app, and you can do all of that from your phone as well. You can connect your device to your phone and have the power of the light on and off. You can schedule when the light is supposed to come on or off. You can set it to, to vegetables or to fruits and flowers. I guess it changes the lighting a little bit, which is cool that you can change that. So I have it set to herbs and veggies, and then you can adjust the lighting. You can make the lights brighter or less brighter. You can also have the circulation pump. I'm assuming it is mostly to keep the water fresher and not have it go muddy in there. And then the auto mode, you can have that on so it waters your plants automatically. And then you can also have the nutrient solution. You can add extra nutrients if you want to, and it kind of just takes care of itself, which is kind of nice for during the winter, because sometimes you just forget about things, right? So right now it was watering the plants, the pump was on, but it turns off on its own. And I'm going to show you my basil already sprouted when I was editing here, so I figured I would show you, which is quite exciting to see little plants, because I was quite intrigued how it was going to work without soil, but it did. So I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will definitely keep you updated and hopefully make some soup here in the future. once everything is covered in snow outside. And I will also leave the discount code and the link for this in the description box, so go check it out. I think it's pretty cool. And the little clip that I will insert here next is of the Northern Lights. We have had so much Northern Lights lately, and I've truly enjoyed it. So I took a little video clip. It doesn't do justice, but they were so clear and they were dancing so much. It was just kind of fun to watch them. So enjoy that, and thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sticking to the end, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye.